You have two ways of dealing with the Plague Ogryn. I would recommend doing this. Oh, also, always try to dodge the charge. It is very dodgeable, and it eats most of your stamina, even if you have a lot of block efficiency. So, if you just go in for the weak spot hits like this and dodge backwards, he won't move, and if you're using a really fast weapon, you can actually just keep him mostly locked in and get two, sometimes with a very rare third. You can also push him and shoot him. Now, worth noting, the Plague Ogryn takes less damage. He has a damage negation effect on ranged weapons. You can dash around to the left and bleed him out like a Chaos Spawn. I don't recommend doing that. You're far more likely to get comboed. Now, let me show you what it's like with a more medium speed weapon, because you're going to have to do a lot more blocking with these weapons. That's why they have more stamina. So, you can still do this. For the combo, you kind of just have to eat it sometimes. I recommend using your shout more as a stamina management tool when you're like this. You also have to be far less aggressive than I'm being right now. So you just go in. He does the overhead eventually. You just go in, dodge the overhead, and then you just get in this little nice rhythm. You can, even with this axe, still get two weak spot hits in. Just know you're not as mobile. So like that right there, the window to get the two weak spots is much tighter. So if you want to be absolutely safe, just go for the one weak spot dodge. If you're a little confident, go for two. I want to talk about this fucking piece of trash for a second. This thing is garbage at dealing with bosses. I cannot promise this is going to go well, because I don't like the power sword. I think it's extraordinarily overrated. But, the power sword kind of changed it, because look, you cannot dodge backwards fast enough to get away from that stomp. So you can't just go all the way in on him. This is where you actually want to be doing things like this more. Granted, you kind of don't want to be in this situation at all, because you have to block his combo. Now, if you're using full stamina management trinkets, you can actually do that. Hey, buddy. You can actually do that and not take damage. But, as you can see, this is just all kinds of bad. Your dodges are so tight and such a small window that, let me try to show you, you're so much better off just going with blocking. And for these, you can't really back dodge them, you gotta side dodge them, but that puts you at risk of that happening. So if you're going to use the power sword, please, for the love of God, run block efficiency on all your curios. Because I'm currently, with this loadout, only running one block efficiency. But if I swap this to all block efficiency, you'll see this story is going to be a little bit different. You use the push as a stamina management tool. You don't let him break your guard with that. You try to dodge these by staying as close as possible. And look, when you do have to block, it's not the end of the world. And if you're really ever in a situation where you're totally... Look at how much more clean this is, given the ability to block and not lose all your stamina. Now, if you're ever in a situation like this, where you're totally out of stamina, just go back to doing this, but do it with your gun. Hell, I think you can even do this with your grenade, actually. Yeah, this is a very tight window with the power sword, and it makes you weaker against his other attacks. And the power sword doesn't even do great damage versus this guy in the first place. So I would honestly say if you have a power sword, just try to focus on using your gun. As you can see, you deal a lot more damage. You can't block the underhanded, like, uppercut. Oh, also this. Yeah, you can't really dodge that either with the power sword. I think you can dodge it with the gun. Hold on. Hey, buddy, knock me away. No, knock me away. Okay, I'm actually very curious about this. No, he started turning to the left. I wouldn't do it, but yeah. The power sword, really not great at fighting bosses.